Namaste, my name is David Moreno, and in this segment we're going to work on the core strength again, only not through doing crunches, but through sustaining the position of plank or low plank. This is incredibly beneficial for people who have disc troubles where curling up, or neck or shoulder troubles where doing a curl up is not possible for them. Even during some stages of pregnancy, where early stages where you can not be crunching up but still supporting this part of your body and toning the organs there. So in low plank, we want to bring our forearms down onto the floor. Make an L shape with the web of the hand. Spread the fingers really wide. Okay, so I have my elbows and my wrist on the same plane. A lot of times when people do this, the hands are too close together and the elbows are too wide out to the side. So try as best as you can to get the elbows and wrists to align so they're in straight lines. Start on your knees, slide your right leg back and just press that heel back. Take a deep breath in, exhale your tailbone towards the floor and the abdominals will lift up into your sacrum. As you inhale, slide your left leg back. Make sure the legs are straight and that you're pushing through the heels. The tendency will be to drop your low back. Let the hips drop, but lift your thigh bones up to the ceiling. Press your forearms and elbows fiercely into the floor, and at the same time, let your chest drop towards the floor and the shoulder blades draw towards the spine. The neck is not dropped, but the back of the skull is lifting towards the ceiling. Make sure that your chin isn't moving forward and you're cutting off energy in the back of the neck. Keep looking to the floor. I can feel my legs starting to burn up. I can feel my body getting warmer here. Lift the thigh bones up, reach your tailbone towards the heels, and breathe here. As you learn how to do this, you can sustain this for anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes. Or you can lift a foot off the floor and balance there, and then bring it down. And lift the other foot off the floor, move the chest forward, make sure the back doesn't collapse, bring it down, keep pressing your elbows into the floor. Lift the hips, bend the knees, come down onto your knees, and rest there for a moment. This pose, because it works on Manipura chakra and the center of your body where the internal heat is stored in the solar plexus, will definitely bring up heat in your body. So you will feel a lot of warmth come up right away. It'll also help bring clarity to the mind because all that heat helps bring some illumination to our thinking process. So low plank is good for those of us, well, it's good for everyone, and it's very different from a full plank. But the advantage of that for most people is that most people, well, besides having weakened abdominals, will have wrist issues. So to be in full plank with the hands extended that much is sometimes challenging. So you can also come down onto the forearms for that. If you have trouble positioning the elbows and they won't come in, or the wrists are too far out, use a block or a book about this size that you can wrap the web of your hand around the edge or corner of the block, and that'll tell you how wide your elbows and wrists need to be. And then again, just start back with one leg stretching. Make sure that you don't move the shoulders off the elbows when you take the leg back. So start with the shoulders right over your elbows, slide a leg back, but move the chest forward. Inhale the other leg up, and this gives you something to squeeze into the block because the legs want to squeeze towards each other. The hips will drop, the thighs will lift, and you can keep pressing your forearms into the floor. Hold here for 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes if you can, and then bring the knees down and come back up. Okay? Let's go ahead and do a full plank here. We'll start on all fours. Again, your fingers must be spread wide. as wide as you can. A lot of times we don't open the hands as much as we can. And there's a gripping on the floor. Instead of letting the palm flatten to the floor, suck the palms up. It's like you're slightly gripping the floor, so you have a bandha or a lift in the arc of the hand here. So that's your foundation. So make sure that you've got your hands set up and that your shoulders stay over the wrist or towards the fingers rather than dropping behind them. Again, when we move the leg out, we sometimes move back off of that. So slide one leg back, stretch it out, pause there. Really press through the heel. Your lower back will start to sway. Draw the navel up and in. And then extend the left leg back or the other leg back and just pause here. Shrug your shoulders towards the ceiling. Push the floor away as the shoulders move back. Again, instead of the head dropping, lift the back of the skull up towards the sky. The hips lower, but the thigh bones lift. The thighs are very active. Reach through your heels. Hold here and breathe. Just recently, a man who is in his 50s held this pose for 5.5 hours. And we won't do that today. We'll just hold it for a few more minutes. Maybe not even minutes, maybe a few more seconds. You probably feel your thighs burning up here. Keep lifting the thighs up. Hips are dropping towards the floor. Press through your heels, press through the crown of the head. You can either come down onto your knees or lift the hips and press back into a downward dog pose, letting the head relax. Bending the knees to come down and coming back to your first rest position. So very good for the whole part of your body that's lifting is keeping your back from collapsing towards the floor. Your abdominals lifting up into the spine helps really support this very vulnerable area of our spine. If you'd like to continue with more energizing practices, please click on to our energizing breathing sequence. Namaste.